Good evening, movie fans, and welcome to the Golden Years of Hollywood. I'm Peter Goers. Tonight, the musical masterpiece Singin' in the Rain, made by MGM in 1952. This is perhaps the most famous film musical of all time and one of everyone's special favourites, and certainly the funniest musical on film. The fabulous songs are by Arthur Freed and Maceo Herb Brown, and they had nearly all been used in other MGM musicals. For example, Singin' in the Rain had been heard before in the Hollywood Review of 1929 and also sung by Judy Garland in Little Nellie Kelly. Comden and Green wrote this musical around the Freed-Brown songbook. Singin' in the Rain is a delicious satire of the disastrous effects of the introduction of sound on the silent cinema in 1927 in Hollywood. The talented cast were at the very peak of their appeal. The brilliant Gene Kelly, who also co-directed the movie with Stanley Donen, plays Don Lockwood opposite Debbie Reynolds as Kathy Selden. Debbie Reynolds had been Miss Burbank of 1948, and this is only her 6th picture and one of the first films she had ever danced in. Donald O'Connor does the very best work of his career as Cosmo Brown. His famous knockabout number, Make 'Em Laugh, was totally improvised, and Hollywood legend has it that another 20 glorious minutes of it ended up on the cutting room floor. Gene Hagen very nearly steals the picture, which is no mean feat, as the ultimate dumb, blonde, imbecile movie queen, Lena Lamont. She was nominated for an Oscar for the performance, and deservedly so. Sid Charisse appears in the Broadway ballet as a guest artist with her famous legs that extend to her tonsils and never looking better. It was the first time she had worked with Kelly. Here's a piece of trivia. In the Singin' in the Rain number, they mixed milk with the water to give it more body. But there's no crying over spilt milk. Singin' in the Rain overflows with wit, gaiety, energy and class. It may be 35 years old, this movie, but it's as fresh as the day it was made. So sit back, relax and enjoy the exuberant, funny experience, which is Singin' in the Rain. That's entertainment, and that's a masterpiece. It's one of the most perfect and peerless movies ever made. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and if you didn't, I can't stand it, as Lena Lamont couldn't say. Gene Kelly said in 1977 that of all his films, Singin' in the Rain has a chance to last through the ages. Too right it does. Incidentally, Donald O'Connor is now a highly respected composer and conductor of symphonies in America. How about that? Next week on the Golden Years of Hollywood, we have the wonderful western The Sons of Katie Elder, starring John Wayne and Dean Martin. But I'll be back tonight after a short break to introduce a special hour-long tribute to Humphrey Bogart. I hope you'll join me in just a moment, not that I've fallen apart. See you then. Welcome back. Humphrey de Forest Bogart was born on Christmas Day 1899 and died in 1957. He was one of the truly great movie stars and one of the imperishable personalities of the silver screen. He was also, strangely enough, related to Princess Diana. He began his career as a stage actor and went on to give superb performances in unforgettable films like Casablanca, The Maltese Falcon, The Petrified Forest, Dark Victory, Key Largo, The Treasure of the Sierra Madre, and The Cane Mutiny, among dozens of others. His tough guy in a trench coat persona was really only skin deep, although his friend Dave Chasen once said that Bogart's a hell of a nice guy until 11:30 p.m. After that, he thinks he's Bogart. After 3 rather tempestuous marriages, he married Lauren Bacall, and they shared one of the most celebrated relationships in Hollywood history. This outstanding and moving tribute to this legendary talent is simply called Bogart, and features highlights from his films and interviews with co-stars and directors. I sincerely hope you enjoy it. I'll see you next week on the Golden Years of Hollywood. Meanwhile, play it again, Bogart.